Welcome back to Let's Build a Willys Jeep. So today we are going to install this light on the fender. There's quite a bit of pieces to this. So like there's the where it's gonna go and the shell that goes around it and the actual physical light. All the screws and the brackets. The most important part of this light is the wiring. So from our last video, you saw how we attached this wiring system to the fender. And the wiring goes through the fender and then it comes out on underneath the fender. So here's the wire for this light. So you have to feed this wire right here up through this hole right here, and then this wire just is held up by these brackets right here along this fender. Just push this wire through this big hole that's here. That, and then twist that through and then pull it from the other side. And here's the wire coming through the other side. So you just thread it through and then just pull it up. And now from underneath, you use this hole right here and then this bracket right here to hold this cable up against the fender. Nuts on these little brackets. Just keep them loose for now because you might have to move it around. Now it's time to work on the light since the wire is now here. But looks like we're gonna have to put on a new lead because this one fell off. What you use is one of these standard kind of ends that attach to the back of this light on this end and on that end right there. Now we got the wires through, it's time to fix the lead on the negative power line. So you just slip on the end and then use crimps just to crimp the lead on, and then that's all fixed now. So now it's time to get the housing and install the bolt that it secures to the fender. So you just slip it on to the back side. That, just you don't forget about this bolt. I would just put all of its lock washer and nut on for now. And now with these cables, you just go in from this back side. There's this hole right here that I've made. You just slide the cables in with the plastic housing, since considering it's going to be outside, lots of elements and rain possibly. So you just slide it through, kind of like that. Don't go too far because you have to make some play here. And then this little split that goes down the center here on this plastic housing, I'd point that down because so rain doesn't get in there and dirt and stuff. So now it's time to connect the light. So the positive is this white wire, and then just click in. The negative is this bottom of it. And what I use is some electrical tape, because considering it's going to be outside, you don't want these to get wet and then might short. Just want to wrap around the joints here. I like to go around all the metal because I don't want the metal to touch with metal, because that might create a short here. Now, since you got both of them wrapped, now it's time to put it all together. So on this light, there is a top and bottom labeled on the actual light. You just stick it in the housing. Try to unplug these wires when you're stuffing it in here. And then just line the top with the top and the bottom with the bottom. And the bottom would be towards this big screw. So you just push it in. It's just rubber, so it should just push in like that. And it kind of clicks in. Now you want to line it all up. And now you put these brackets on that hold the rubber onto the housing. So there's one that goes at the bottom here. Kind of like that. And the other one goes at the top. And now we use two small little screws, and they go one at the bottom and top. Purpose is to hold these clamps secure. But you gotta make sure the clamp is straight, because as of right now, there we go. So we just feed both the screws in and use a good old lock washer and a nut on both. So now with both these loosely tightened, just line it up with the bottom here. Make sure the light is still pointed the right direction, and my application is to use a standard Robinson bit and just tighten the clamp. You hold the nut at the back, like that. Just pretty snug so wire doesn't get in there. So now it's time to unloosen this nut that we put here just to hold the screw in. And now it's time to install the actual light onto the fender. So I'll move you guys over a bit so you actually can see what's happening now. So there's this metal spacer that you use. Then this goes underneath the spacer. And then a rubber under that to stop it from making lots of noise and vibrating. This just goes on the top like this. And then feed the light through the spacers and then through the fender. Like that. This is the view from underneath the fender. So the same story, just use the rubber and the metal housing, and then you just slip it on the bolt and use a washer, lock washer, and a nut, and then making sure the light is fairly straight on the other side and pointing in the right direction. Just tighten it up decently tight. And there you go. And that was the light installation for the fender on a Willys Jeep. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.